Hi guys, James here again, back with Bespoke Airsoft, and today we're looking at another pistol. This is a new release this year. It's been highly anticipated, which is the AAP-01 from Action Army. Yes, this pistol has been everywhere, no matter if you're perusing social media, your usual airsoft news outlet sites, you've probably seen this thing. Which leads me on to the next question is, why is this thing so important? And there are a few things about this pistol which make it very, very interesting indeed, which we'll get into in just a moment. But this is a gas blowback pistol from Action Army. It's a full polymer pistol with a metal bolt inside, and it is sort of a hash between a Ruger Mark IV, and they've incorporated a Glock styled lower frame into it. Again, we're going to get more into the nitty gritty. I have owned a Ruger pistol for some time now, and the one that I have is a KJ Works Mark II. As you can see, it's been heavily modified. It's had like a custom machined barrel which houses this sort of, I think this is actually like a Nuprol suppressor, which fixes it on into place, so it's all the barrel that you see there. It's got a shortened inner barrel because these CO2 pistols, because the Mark II is CO2, the Mark I is gas, do pump out a lot of power out of the box, and the mag release is really finicky. It's hard to get to. It's not the most efficient pistol, it's not the best performing. It does have a top-down hop adjustment, but out of the box they're not the best, and they do need a bit of fiddling. I've loved the Ruger series of pistols for some time, but there's never really been anything out there that's been usable out of the box. In come Action Army, and I have no idea how they got the thought process to release this as their first gas blowback pistol, but I'm glad that they did. As I said before, it's a full polymer construction pistol with a metal bolt, charging handle, whatever you want to call it, that sits inside the upper frame here. And there's no slide to move backwards and forwards, there's no moving parts, which means that the inner barrel and hop-up section is fixed in place and it doesn't move. This gives you better performance and accuracy. So they have filled a gap with this pistol. Those that are part of the Mark I, Mark II Ruger owners page are going to love this thing. The fact that it works, it's not like it's a non-blowback pistol where you just pull the trigger and it fires. It's got a reciprocating bolt assembly here, and you know the slide doesn't move, so you've not got that inaccuracy. So it's going to be a very good performing pistol. However, they didn't stop there, so they've created something that people are going to love. They've made it completely out of polymer, which obviously brings the cost right down. You've got a threaded barrel straight out of the box, which is 14mm counterclockwise, so all your accessories, tracer units and etc. are going to go on there. They fitted probably some of the best fibre optic iron sights I've seen out of the box for the price of the pistol. The fact that they come with it, they're really easy to see in low light conditions. They seem to catch that light and make it really easy to get sight acquisition on the pistol. But they've gone one step further and thought, well, what's the most available pistol magazine on the market? And you know, one of the most available pistols worldwide in the airsoft market is the Glock platform, or the G series platform, depending on if it's licensed or not licensed. It's one of the most prominent platforms out there, and they've made this pistol to accept. They do offer their own Action Army magazines. I think these are about 24 rounds gas magazines. They're nice and affordable, but you can put Tokyo Marui, WE, KJ Works, VFC mags fit in this as well, the Umarex ones, Stark Arms, which are also VFC. They all seem to fit in this pistol and work. So they've actually done videos where they've shot all the brands of magazines, including CO2 magazines as well, and this pistol just chews them up and spits them out. There are some differences in magazines, so some are going to be more efficient than others. Just the way that with how the routers on the top are modelled, because obviously Tokyo Marui are different. We have had reports on the owner's page on Facebook for this thing that some people are putting Tokyo Marui Glock 18 nozzles in these. How they're doing that I'm not too sure at the moment, but all the information is on there if you want to go join that page. So they're clearly onto a winner. There's a lot of Glock-ish style parts on the lower frame. It's like running a very similar to an 18C style hammer and trigger system. So they are on to a winner. Now they don't stop there. They've made the pistol completely ambidextrous. The trigger, of course, can be, you know, accessed from both sides. The trigger safety can be accessed from both sides. The safety to block the trigger can be switched. So whether you want safe or fire on either side, that can be turned around. You've got an ambidextrous bolt release. I'm not going to call it a slide because the slide, you know, it's not sliding like a conventional pistol. I'm just going to refer to it as the bolt from now on. So you've got a bolt release, which is ambidextrous. The magazine release can be swapped around to either side, so that's ambidextrous. And you've got two cutouts on the magazine. If you do want to use it left-handed, you will need to use either the Action Army magazines or the magazines out there that have the catch on the opposite side. But wait, they're not finished. They've also made this pistol really easy to take apart, and they've also fitted a fun switch at the back of the bolt here. So locking the bolt to the rear, you've got a little switch here. You push that to the right hand side, and that's full auto, so you've got capabilities. You know, snipers out there running Glock 18s because they want a bit more firepower. This is going to be perfect for you as well. We're just going to have a demonstration here. I've got some just normal WE green gas in the magazine, which is left over from a weekend event where we just went to. So it's not a full magazine whatsoever. And we've got semi-auto, very snappy indeed. We obviously lock that bolt to the rear, switch it over to full auto, and this is where all the fun happens. It has got a rapid rate of fire, and that's just on green gas. You know, we've seen users put in WE red, black gas, CO2, although I wouldn't recommend that. I'd probably just stick to green gas out the box to keep it reliable. So as I said, this thing is really easy to take apart. You just need to make sure the hammer's cocked, and then you have a button on the back here. Push that down. The top frame here sort of levers off the lower frame, and it's as simple as that. You can access the nozzle if you want to do lubrication. The hop-up has a wheel on it which can be accessed when the top frame is off or on, because you can access it through the ejection port there, which I managed to do in game with gloves on. It wasn't the easiest, but with some nice thick grippy gloves on, I still managed to adjust it. You obviously want to watch you don't get any dirt or debris in there. When pushing this back down, of course you can push it down to click it in, but I would just recommend pushing that button just for longevity purposes. You don't want to break any of that plastic off. So these came into the UK, we had them on the Bespoke website, they flew off pretty much instantly. They sold in the UK and UK stores for around 80 to 90 pounds. But the original one that I tried to purchase this a couple of months ago was 61. I think it was 61 pounds from a Hong Kong website. Unfortunately that never turned up, and we got the batches into ourselves before that ever materialised, still waiting for it. However, let's get a closer look at this thing before we go in chrono and have some play with this, and then I can talk to you about my conclusions, because I actually took this to a game the weekend just gone, which was the 4th of July. Site local to me opened it up, you know, doing all the guideline restrictions that they need to do. We had a blast. I managed to shoot this in game, and funnily enough, people have been saying that these fit certain types of holsters. I've heard Safariland, I think it's 579 GLS holsters, the Warrior Universal holster. I actually had a random Phobos holster in my garage. I have no idea where this holster's come from. At some point I've had it for an XDM or something, because after looking at the code online and looking at the mould of the holster, it looks like it's for a Springfield XD. But funny enough, I decided to try, just because I was thinking how I'm going to carry this thing if I want to use it in a game, and it goes straight in. And this is a cheap, inexpensive holster. It's a Phobos SP11B, and I'm pretty sure it's for a Springfield XD, and the AAP-01 clicks into place, and I was able to use that pretty much all day. Let's get a closer look at this thing, and we'll show you how all the fine little details and what Action Army's done with this pistol. So here we have it, the AAP-01 from Action Army. The only part I'd say to ignore is this charging handle that's been made for ease of use. Pop that to one side. Here is how it will come in the box. You've got your 24-ish, I think it is, round magazine, polymer upper and lower frame and barrel. You've got a polymer end cap here which houses the 14x1 left hand thread, which is the most common thread found on airsoft products. We've got some beautiful fibre optic iron sights there, which is difficult to see with all the ambient light that's coming in the shot now. Not sure if we can show that a little bit, but outdoors it's absolutely brilliant. We've got the safety, which can be switched to have safe or fire on either side. We've got the ambidextrous bolt release, and we've got the mag release, which can be switched to either side as well. We've got a Glock style trigger there, and then if we just charge the hammer, we can just press this button and then the top half comes off like so. You'll see some parts in here which are very reminiscent of a Glock 18. There are some differences in the trigger. If you do go to a Glock style upgrade trigger, just know that a few people have reported that you can't use this safety anymore, and with some triggers it does require a bit of modification to the frame to fit, but in terms of function wise, they do work and they are very good. They take up that slack. Some of them are adjustable with little grub screws. So what we'll do is I'll quickly show you the upper half here. Got a great seal on the hot rubber there. As you can see, the hop. You've got the wheel there. Very easy to adjust. All this is fixed in place, so the accuracy and performance out of this thing is amazing. When this is obviously locked to the rear in the pistol, this is your fire selector. And this thing comes apart dead easy as well. You take the rear iron sight out and then you can pull the bolt assembly out. You take these two little grub screws out and then the whole barrel and hop assembly comes out, and then it's another two little screws and then the hop and barrel comes out from the outer barrel. You've obviously got points here where you can fix rails too, for optics and flashlights, lasers, anything like that. Going back on, it's very easy, and then I just make sure this button's depressed when I push it back down. And then when it's locked to the rear, you've got your fire selector there. That's to single or semi-auto, and then click it to the right for full auto. The trigger on this is very good. Obviously you've got a lot of take up there, which is usual from a lot of pistols, especially Glocks included. But you've got a very definite wall there, a nice audible click, and a very comfortable feel into that release of the hammer as well. Very small reset, so very good. They've based it on a good, easy trigger to get right anyway with the Glock 17s and 18s and 19s, so very good indeed. Magazine, some nice markings on there. We've got a bit of gas in here. We've got it set to semi-auto. Very snappy indeed, and if we lock it back, we've got the selector, we can switch that over to full auto. And there we go. Comes available in black, however, it's also available in this FDE. I've heard it called tan, but it's more of a dark earth colour as well. Exactly the same pistol, just a different colour. Set to semi-auto. I think this gas magazine is empty. Yes, it is. Very cool indeed. These will take other branded Glock mags. Like I've said previously, they'll also take the 50 rounders, they'll take the drum mags. It's a very cool pistol indeed. Got a couple of trademarks here and there. Got made in Taiwan. No other markings there, it's pretty plain. And then we've got read instructions before use. Very, very cool indeed. Well, let's start waffling on. Let's go chrono this thing, which is pre-recorded anyway, but we'll look at the chrono and we'll look at the accuracy tests, and then we'll be back on camera. 0.3 gram BBs, green gas, hop is wherever it was set from factory. Just put some black spray paint on that there because I've run out of targets, so it should be nice and easy for you to see. Right, so yeah, no hop, we're a little bit low. So there's no hop on this whatsoever because I was aiming here and hitting, I think, about here. So I've just kind of had to eyeball it with the iron sights up here somewhere, but you know, not a bad grouping at all. It's what, 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So I could clean that up with a little bit more hop, so it's a little bit more predictable, but yeah, happy with that. This image that you're just looking at here is just, all I've done is I've done the same grouping test that I've done in the black, but I've just put it on the side to the white paper there just so it's a bit more easy for you to see. As you can see, I improved it just a little bit, just knowing exactly where the gun was firing, and it's just a little bit more prominent to see the grouping there. Hop adjusted 0.3s, I think you get even better results. A nice respectable FPS for a pistol like this. You know, if you're upgrading the barrel and hop rubbers, you can obviously get more out of it. If you're running on higher powered gas, you can get more out of it. I was running just standard WE green gas with some 0.2s, and then for the accuracy test I was running 0.3s. I haven't messed with the hop at the point of this review. Obviously I did the chrono and the accuracy test beforehand of taking it the weekend just gone, and I am extremely impressed with this pistol. I'm going to go as far to say this is probably the most looked forward to or impressive releases of an airsoft gun item or product that I've seen in a few years. Nothing has ever struck me as quirky as this, as I need to get my hands on it type thing. I love the Ruger series. I love the fact that they've gone that way. The bolt system that they've used keeps the gun nice and snappy. The rate of fire on full auto is absolutely amazing. The accuracy and range you can get out of this thing out of the box, no messing whatsoever. Some users have reported they've been sending like 0.48 gram BBs out the box to 50-60 meters and beyond. Is just absolutely amazing, which is down to that fixed barrel and hop system that doesn't reciprocate or move like a Glock or a 977 or a high capper would. So the only moving part you've got is this. The ambidextrous controls are absolutely superb for you lefties out there. I've seen people dual wielding these, which means you could just chuck the mag release round and you're ready to go holding 2 of them. They come in black and tan. Action Army have released a full list of accessories available for this thing. They've got mag wells, they've got thumb rests, they've got different barrel attachments. They've just released their RMR mount to put a red dot sight on there. They've also got rail segments you can buy to put torches and other red dots on. They've got charging handles, which in my eyes are a little bit bulky. So over at Jaeger Precision, we've made these VQ charging handles, which are almost look like those pendulums that you used to pull on the strings. This is loosely based on the Volquartsen design, and these just screw in the back here and keep it very low profile. This is made out of mild steel, which is then blued, and I have had, the way this thing is, let's just put it back to semi-auto first. I've experienced no drop in rate of fire or how snappy this pistol is. And it makes it nice and easy to grab, especially when you've got some gloves on, because this here isn't the easiest and you can slip off it. And the reason why we went with this design at Jaeger Precision was because it doesn't snag or pull, it's got no loops on it to catch on anything. So that's how I run mine. Head over to the Jaeger Precision website if you want to get one of these, because we offer custom laser engraving and stuff on there and a few different finishes. So I absolutely love this pistol. I took it to the game. I didn't use it an awful lot because the engagements that we were having were at longer distances, so I was using my Ares M45 and the gameplay didn't really play for it. But in the games where I was running a little bit lower on ammo, because I only run mid and low cap magazines, I had to pull this out, and then I was instantly surprised at the accuracy and range that this thing can put out, which completely changed my idea, because everyone that I could hit with my long rifle, I could also hit with this pistol as well. Getting some spare magazines for these is a must. We obviously sold out of all the pistols on Bespoke, but we've got plenty of spare magazines left. We've got the guns coming in. Again, we're going to have a restock of those. Action Army have also done some CNC machine uppers, which are based on the Volquartsen Black Mamba, I believe, which make it look absolutely fantastic. So we're then replacing all these polymer parts for metal ones, which is obviously going to push the price up, but it's nice that out the box this pistol is nice and affordable. There's loads of 3D printed parts available on the AAP-01 owners page on Facebook, so if you haven't joined that already, make sure you do. I have been so delightfully surprised with this thing. It was a massive hype around it. I've been following it for some time, and when I got it, it exceeded all my expectations. So if you do have a chance to get your hands on one of these, make sure that you do. You don't want to miss out. Thank you very much for tuning into this quick review of the AAP-01. I would love to go into more detail and dive down the rabbit hole and spend a couple of hours on this thing, because I really could do. But I like to try and keep them, the videos, as short as possible within reason, because I know the attention span of most viewers, you know, this is a couple of minutes. But I've had absolutely blast with this pistol. Can't recommend it enough. This is going to be probably my product of the year so far, unless something else miraculous comes in. I'm probably going to say it's my recommended product of the past couple of years, where Action Army came out with this one just out of the bag. I think is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to stop waffling on now and let you go. So head over to Bespoke Airsoft for all things standard and bespoke. The website is more stocked than ever before. We've got close to 8,000 products on the website now, so we've got more stock than we ever have done. Appreciate all you guys who purchase off us on a regular basis. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope I've gone over enough details as possible. If you'd like to see more on this pistol, let me know, because we could upgrade it, we could make some more cool parts for it, and really dive down that rabbit hole that I tend to go down. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.